Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right. I am John Palacio.
And I'm Marlene Coyar, and thank you for joining us this morning.
It is Wednesday, hump day, and it's raining in the city. Well, it was.
And Michael Gentle is on the line to tell us what's happening and what we can expect for today. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, good morning.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
All right, so we're still getting this back and forth, whether it's sunny, then it's rainy. What are we expecting today?
Yeah, we continue to get a mixture of showers and some breaks in between, some sunny breaks in between.
Okay.
So for today, we expect some cloudy spells today, a few showers, an isolated thunderstorm will occur mostly over central and southern areas this morning.
Mm-hmm.
This activity will decrease this afternoon and then return again tonight.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to be returning afternoons and the mornings.
Yeah, especially since the showers move inland as the day progresses.
Okay. So we're expecting the same type of weather today. And what about our winds?
Okay. Basically, it's an east-northeasterly flow that is dominating our weather, so we continue from the east and the northeast, 10 to 20 knots. We still getting some higher than normal swells, so we keep the small craft caution in effect.
Okay.
The conditions moderate to rough.
All right. Well, we definitely hope that people are paying attention to those advisories if they're heading out to sea. What about our high temperatures for today? Okay,
we're expecting about 84 along the coast, 88 inland, and 80 in the hills. For the night, 77 along the coast, 70 inland, and 66 in the mountain pine ridge.
Okay. And our extended forecast?
Okay, we are still likely to get these pockets of moisture drifting over the area for tomorrow, Thursday and Thursday night. It should be mostly cloudy, and we can expect some showers along with isolated thunderstorms. These will be concentrated more over central and southern areas of the country.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that update.
Okay, you're welcome.
You have a great day today.
Same to you.
Okay.
Well, there you had it. The pro there, that's none other than forecaster Mike Jen telling us what the weather is going to be like. Come on, so well, be the same way. Like,
yeah, it's not so bad though, because we do have the afternoons that are a bit dry, so you have to get out or get your laundry out or whatever it is that you need sun for. Yeah. You can expect that in the afternoon, but there will be more showers. And more importantly, there are still gusty winds that if you're headed out to sea, you want to be mindful of.
Definitely. One of the things that we continue to share with you is that always make sure that you're vigilant, you've got your plan in place just in case of any weather. Because it's raining or because it's moist out, make sure that you leave home early to your destination.
That's right. We're going to keep things moving this morning. It's hump day. We're midweek, and we're going to give you a bit of motivation. So it's time for Eye Opener. Or Eye Opener is taken from dailyom.com, and it goes like this. A new view of a situation is just what we need to answer a difficult question or see something we've been missing. There is no greater way to escape the troubles of daily life than to ascend into the welcoming embrace of a treehouse. Like a bird in its nest, we feel held and safe in the branches, cloaked within a curtain of green leaves. Here, we can breathe more freely and think more clearly, our hearts and brains fed by the oxygen released by the leaves. We float above the everyday world of the ground, enjoying a bird's eye view of all that remains below. We may choose to be alone, or we may invite a special friend to join us. Either way, this is our private world in which we get to decide who comes and goes. It is our haven where we can fully be who we are, shed the masks required by the world below, and reveal our most hidden secrets, dreams, and desires. It is also an ideal vantage point on the life that continues below the branches. Often, a new view of a situation is just what we need to answer a difficult question, solve a challenging problem, or see something we've been missing. It is as if we have ascended into the heavens and are able to tap into a higher awareness. We can draw on this airy energy to revitalize us, relax us, and feed us new ideas. When we descend, we are ready to enter the world again, cleaner, clearer, and often more inspired.
That's right. What sticks out to me most, or what stays on my mind as you read it, was often a new view of a situation is just what we need to answer a difficult question. You know, this comes with experience. You know, if you haven't experienced it as yet, or if you didn't get that experience, then how do you answer the question? Wisdom is one of those things that I really and truly pays attention to, especially when it's being bestowed upon me. And I feel that when you get that new view of that situation, that answers the question, and you, okay, it allows you to open up to new things. It allows you to accept a new challenge, a new situation, because you know for a fact that an answer is going to be there. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and I think to be careful, you don't want to be too literal with the eye opener. We're not talking about an actual treehouse. That's not our culture in Belize. But I think the essence of what the eye opener is getting at is really what we can really drive home this morning, which is sometimes just looking at things from a different perspective makes a huge difference.
That's right.
And it's hard to do because a lot of times we are just in the thick of it. The problem is right here, and you don't see anything other than what is in front of you.
That's right.
And so stepping back from it at times can allow you to get that perspective. But I also find that having a really good sounding board, a person who can perhaps be one that can help to enlighten you in this process, can be so helpful. Because they're seeing it from a completely different perspective. Remember, we have it here. They're seeing the bigger picture. And that can help so much. So especially when you feel stuck, when what's in front of you seems so insurmountable, it's a good time to maybe check in with someone you trust and who has your best intention at heart. And especially if they're able to separate themselves from the situation and see it for what it is. So, you know, I think you don't have to think of actually being in a treehouse.
No.
It's just about changing perspectives, and it's the same thing. You know, when you're on the ground, there's one thing that you see. When you're up in the air, there's something else that you can notice. And so, you know, I think we all have those moments where we get stuck. Consider what you can do to find your own sort of treehouse, someone or something that will help you change perspective.
Definitely, loving it. You know, and these people are out there. You've got you know, a person or two who you could actually ask the question to. And this is the reason why I continue to say wisdom, because especially if they've been through, the answer could eventually be like right there. But you're right. If it's right in front of you, it's very difficult to see. It reminds me of writer's block. It's like playing, you know, with writer's block, you step back a little and then you jump right back into it, and you might just get the idea. Playing a pool game, you step back a little so you could see the angle, and that's where your answer is. You know, so, you know, it plays in our everyday life what this eye-opener just mentioned to us.
That's right. And that's it for morning motivation for today.
Yes.
Shifting gears now to a bit of morning tea. You ready to stir it up a bit?
Ready to stir it up.
All right, so remember, we're looking for you to chime in on Facebook, on Instagram. Tell us what you think. And this is an interesting one.
Very
this one
interesting.
I read a few days ago.
Very interesting. So, you know, I listened to the cup or the tea cup as the spoon clings towards it, against it, and try to get the answer out of it. And I'm hoping that you're doing the same thing, because the morning tea is actually this. There is a Japanese billionaire. His name is Yusaku Maezawa. He's currently looking for a life partner for a space voyage to the moon. Applications are now open for potential girlfriends. Do you believe that money can buy love? That's a good question.
Listen to me. I read this story and I do all my checks. I check that they're legitimate news sites.
Yeah.
I make sure because I could not believe that this was legit.
It is.
And then I saw a CNN notification coming. I was like, this is really spreading across the globe. So yeah, it's true. The guy he's a young entrepreneur. He had a girlfriend. He bought what is one of the first tickets. It's called a SpaceX tickets where, normal people or non-astronauts can actually travel to the moon. And so he'd already bought the tickets. It's for a few years from now. So he broke up with his girlfriend, and a part of why he wanted to take his girlfriend on this trip with him. So now he opened a call for girls to apply to be his girlfriend and to travel to the moon with him.
Tough.
No lie.
Look,
Don't change your channel. This is true.
This is true.
And if
This
you're
is true.
interested, I think there's like 2 days left to apply, ladies. So,
And the one, that part of the story is very, it's eye-opening because it is true. It is true what this guy is going through and what he wants to do.
Would you do it though? Like even if it was a female, would you do that? Would you apply? If you were single, clearly he's a married man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if I would go to the moon with a rich lady.
No, you're not just going to the moon. You're applying to be their partner.
Their partner? You know what, Marlene, for real men, real, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Because what do we do when we get there? Then you have to think forward. That's for me. I can't just look at, okay, this is the big picture. I'm now her boyfriend and we're going to the moon.
Yeah.
To chill for years.
No, it's not that long. It's like a trip.
Oh,
yeah.
it's a trip to the moon?
You already said no, you're off.
Yeah, I'm off. No, man, no. More than the moon.
I am sure. Well, here, listen, it's not as clear cut as that. They're going to make a show out of it and all this stuff. And this guy does sensational stuff online all the time. He attracts the buzz.
See, and that's the thing, because they're just like the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry situation. This is a situation, and there's something out of it. Like there is something else.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And there's the other
I feel
part
like
of the.
we'll have a few Belizean applications.
You think
for
so?
this.
Then it says, do you believe that that money can buy love?
I don't know if this is about money or love. I don't know if I can apply to be someone's girlfriend. I don't.
I need for
That's a certain
application.
kind of.
I need a
You gotta
bachelor's?
be a major risk taker here. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
Well, what do you need a bachelor's in? I don't know. But that's a good question.
Yeah,
and you know
yeah.
what? It is a good conversation starter for the morning. So chime in on your social media platform. Say how you feel. Would you?
Would you do it? All right, so that's our morning tea for today. All right, so we're gonna get moving into our show for today, and we're keeping you well informed and prepared for the new year ahead. We're still in January, just hitting that midpoint mark. So
definitely, and you know what? 2020 is definitely a point for a lot of people that starts a new decade. And so it brings forth a lot of good conversations. Speaking of good conversations, 2020 vision, time management for productivity. That's going to be our first segment for this morning.
that's right, and the second part of our show. Oh, people are definitely going to be looking forward to this. So, YouTube sensation Daniel Loveless. So I'm sure you've seen his videos. He has a series of videos online where he asks people questions. It's called What You Know. And he's here in Belize. He's going to be talking to us about what he's doing here, what his expectations are, and we're going to have that conversation in the second part of the show.
And in the third segment for this morning, I'll tell you what, the foodie tour continues. And Guavalim Cafe, coming all the way from San Ignacio, they're going to be in with us. I wonder what they're going to cook up. I can't wait. We get breakfast in the morning early.
All right, so we got a great show lined up for today. We're going to go ahead and take that break, and we will be back in a few, so stay tuned.
over 100 years of service excellence in Belize, the Belize Bank Limited recognizes the importance of leadership.
And welcome back to Open Your Eyes. It is a lovely Wednesday morning in the city. Woof, we're loving it. But we've got wonderful conversations lined up. But before we do that, we want to give our birthday shout out for this morning. And we want to say a big happy birthday to none other than Rihanna Jex and Ibari Elijah Magdaleno. And it comes from the mom and the entire family.
That's right. Ibari is 14 years old today. That's from Mom and the Nestra Mom, Nestra, and the family. So we do hope you enjoy your day today as you get ready to go to school.
That's right. Nestra, good morning as well to you. Very good friend of mine. Side. Wishing you all the very best. Coming from all of us here at Channel 5 and Open Your Eyes. But we need to move on into our show for this morning, and we've got this lovely lady right here in front of us. This conversation will be about time management for productivity. And in with us, we've got Charlotte Neal Lopez, who is the Managing Director, Belize Institute for Service Excellence, Leadership and Research. Not a lot of things. Morning!
Good morning, good morning.
And Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year to you too. It is indeed a big name, and I've had to say to people, we'll grow into it. Belize Institute for Service Excellence, Leadership and Research is a recent startup. We've been in operation for a little over 5 months.
Wow.
As a company, and we specialize in training and business development consultancy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, and so we try to put a different spin on training. A lot of organizations say, well, you know, why train our people, because they come back and they do the same thing. We say our trainings also has an M&E component to it.
Excellent.
We train and then we come back and monitor.
Yeah.
These are the skill sets that we imparted, and this is what you should be doing at 3 months, at 6 months.
Yeah.
So we're coming to check.
Yeah.
And it keeps you, you know, accountable. And
Yeah.
so that's what we basically do. We want to get to the point where organizations see training as a must.
Yeah.
Professional development becomes a buzzword, and they see the direct relationship between growth of their organization and growth of their people. And we're not there yet.
I was gonna
We're still
ask.
seeing training as an investment,
Yeah.
no, as a cost,
Yeah.
as an add-on, and
Yeah.
it really is not.
Yeah.
My greatest joy when I offer trainings, because we don't just do it for organizations, we put out trainings out there,
Yeah.
and is when people pay for their own training.
Yeah.
Your company sends some, but I look out for the people who say, hey, I'm going to pay for this. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have a lack in this area.
Yeah.
You know, this is where I need to be developed.
Yeah.
And so it's the field of training is wide open, but it needs to be a high quality training.
Yeah.
And we also train what I call train the mind, because I try to help to change the mindset
Yeah.
and let people see really where they can be,
Yeah.
you know, if they really apply themselves.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times people think that they only need to know the skill set that's required to execute the
yeah.
job, but it's a lot of the
That's it.
intangibles
Exactly.
that need to be mastered.
Exactly. And so that is one of our models as well.
Yeah.
We don't do just soft skills. We believe that there's a combination of the technical skills and the soft skills.
Yeah.
You can be a very, very good public relations person, but maybe you can't write, you can't really put your materials together. So then you're failing in that area, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Your customer service rep can be so sweet and musical on the phone and with customers, but when it comes to you know, organizing where are your stuff,
Yeah.
they fail
Records
in some
management, yeah.
managing stuff. It's like they're losing stuff. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, with
Yeah.
a smile, of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
but I can't find
Yeah.
it, sir. Can you check back tomorrow? You know,
Yeah.
it really does. So we merge these
Yeah.
two. You know, in fact, companies in developed countries are actually now looking at hiring soft skills
Yeah.
and then training in the technical areas,
That's right.
right? So these two skills are so
Yeah.
compatible.
Yeah.
You know, the best employees are those who are able to master
Yeah.
both of those skills.
It's so interesting you say that, because I think it was a conversation with Yui a while back when they were talking about ensuring that they integrate lessons in soft skills, emotional intelligence at
Exactly.
schools, because what employers are looking for are agreeableness.
Exactly.
People who are team players, people who can be able to work well with others, because
Exactly.
everything else
Yeah.
can be trained. Like you
Yeah.
can learn to do a program on a computer, YouTube teaches you everything.
That is a fact.
And that's where sometimes we haven't made the shift here. Now, how do you explain to people how important it is to make the commitment to training for these soft skills so that they can see it in their productivity and in their bottom line?
What we do, first of all, because I can offer a wide array of training,
Yeah.
but I prefer to go to organization and I say, let's do a training needs analysis. What is it that you're trying to achieve?
Yeah.
And these are the skill sets that you need if you really want to achieve that. And that is why we find the monitoring and evaluation so important, because it allows us to go back in and say, hey, you know, see, this is where you were, and as a result of these trainings, this is where we now are. And so we're excited to see where, you know, the Institute will go in terms of developing capacity.
And what's the most sought after training right now?
Right now, people are still talking about customer service.
Yeah.
But we tend to say, let's package it. Let's
Yeah.
do some more of the interpersonal skills, the communication. Definitely time management has become a buzzword as well. Emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
My goal this year is to train as many organizations, or I would say more retrain in ethics management. Ethics has become, you know, we've lost a lot of what, and ethics is personal, right? And so that is, for me, one of the trainings that I'm pushing more than anything else.
So sure, you know, there are a lot of businesses out there, and some might say, you know what, I've got all the knives I need in this cupboard. I've got all the knives I need on this shelf, and everybody's sharp. But there might be some things that bosses are lacking in. What are we finding right now? I'm sure you've done your research. I'm sure you've done your research. But what are we finding right now that bosses are lacking? It might not necessarily be, you know, the knives and the knives here aren't sharp. They might be, but they're probably not being led properly.
Exactly.
How do we attack this?
And that's where the leadership component comes in, because what we're finding is that people are still managing a little too much when they should be leading. The real idea is to grow your people, and then your job becomes so much easier. I always look at managers who are overwhelmed and I say, why? You have all the right people. Motivate them, train them, and watch them soar. Really, there's so much they can do if you just let them do, you know. But we have to understand that, and we have to embrace new concepts that come on board. We're still managing for 1920 when we're in 2020.
Yeah.
And so we can't do that.
With a completely different generation.
Well, don't even talk about that. That's
if you've ever read the book by Dr. Wessinger, we had him on the show. It is amazing looking at how millennials think so radically different. And I'm guilty, because I used to watch people and say, well, how do you move jobs so easily? But they're looking for something completely different.
Fresh.
They want to contribute, and if they bring ideas and they're not listening to you, you lost them. And you lost good talent.
That's true.
Just for that reason.
That's a fact. And so one of our trainings that we do as well is looking at that generational gap, right? It's like, how do you communicate across that generational divide? And so leaders, and I say leaders because I don't like the word managers. They need to be more in tune with what's going on today. The fact is, a lot of them don't realize the benefit of getting involved. Most of the time when we do these trainings, the echo would be, I wish my boss was here. You know, and that always resonates with me. You know, so we need to step up our game, and we need to be honest about where we are as leaders, and the fact that we need to continue to grow and learn.
So we're going to get a crash course in time management. But before we get to that, I just wanted to ask, there's a research part to your name. Are you going to look into maybe, because perhaps if we see the data to see the type of leadership styles we have in leaders, or perhaps where we're lacking in certain soft skills, are you venturing into that route?
And hence the research, because there has to be, and collecting data as we go along, looking at where these gaps exist and what are we really doing as organizations to fill these gaps. Where are we moving towards, and how are we moving there? Do we actually have a plan that we're executing, or we just say, hey, I heard you talking about time management, can you come in? Oh, that's great, I definitely want to. But is there something else that you really needed? Is it a haphazard approach. So those are some of our research that we'll definitely be doing.
I just wanted to, because you mentioned that you don't like the word manager. So you don't like that word, and I think that that word actually separates the people rather than put us all together, and then from there we go to the same spot that we want to go. Is it, especially in a workplace, do I refer to the person as, hey boss, what do you go on, boss? Or boss, what I need to do next? What I have to do next? Is that a right approach?
No, it's not. There is this concept called intent-based leadership. And it's really a new concept that many organizations have not. Your style of leadership can't be fixed. It has to be dependent on who you're dealing with and at what level they are. You can't manage everybody the same way, right? John could be left alone to just give him some instruction and John is gone. Yeah. Marlene, on the other hand, might need to, be, and that's not, I'm just using that.
Yeah.
And John is shining this morning. But you have to adopt and you have to adjust to the needs of your people so that your organizational goals are met. It's sad to see that many leaders in the organization are the ones who are holding back and restricting the organization from growing, and then they're wondering, why aren't we growing? Yeah. And that's a sad reality, but the awareness.
And even buying into vision, like Simon Sinek, the author, his concepts of people buying into the why, which is such an important part of human nature. We attach to things based on what they mean and what they represent for us. And when you as a leader can't share that vision with everyone, then you don't have that buy-in. Are we seeing, you got to give me something here. Are we seeing a change? Because when I see these things, I said, man, Belize could go a long way if people just read these books.
Some organizations are seeing the change, but some of them are not embracing it. They know what needs to be done, but change management in itself is a whole other 2-hour topic, right? And so making that transition really and truly, so all of that is where we find working with organizations. We lead them through that process. It doesn't have to be a big shift. Let's start with this. Don't be intimidated by your empowered employees, because that's one of the challenges that we find a lot. You come, you know too much.
Too many ideas.
That's a problem. No, we want people who know a lot, because it means that we can use you not just in the area that you have come to serve, but in so many other areas, right? And that's what we're finding with the millennials.
Definitely.
They know stuff. Why are we not using them?
And they know their demographics.
Of course.
Exactly, right?
Of course. And that's the thing, because
we got to get into time management.
Let's get into it. Let's
manage our time, because this is why we're here. But just want to say, you're online. People can get that information. We'll share it in the end of the show.
Yes.
But today, you're giving us a crash course. So if you're at home struggling with time management issues, maybe you haven't identified it as a time management issue, we're going to talk about it this morning. So Charlotte, tell us, where do we start?
Well, we start by, first of all, recognizing that you can't really manage time. You manage the activities in your day and in your life in relation to time. Whether you manage time or not, you'll have 24 hours. You can't add a single minute, second to your day. 24 hours is 24 hours. So forget about managing that. If somebody can do it, awesome. But what we talk about is managing your activities in relation to time. That's key. And so to do that, there are 2 things you need to be doing. One, you need to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, time is of no essence to you. You will waste a lot of time, because maybe your goal is just to see how long you can sleep each day, or how late you can get to work, or watch 100 movies on Netflix this week. So if that's your goal, you good. You can go get your coffee and start watching your Netflix now. But if your goal is bigger than that, and we should all have big goals and big visions and big dreams and things we want to achieve, because those are the things that will wake us up, you need to be managing your time.
It's amazing that you say that as the starting point, because I wonder how many people actually set personal goals or professional goals. I think it happens as you get older, but if you start older, you're already behind.
Exactly. It has to be a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But in order to manage time, the second thing you need to do besides setting your goal is being time aware. Where does my time go? That's a question everybody should be asking themselves.
Yeah.
Where does my time go? And where should my time go? And the way to do that, I've come up with
Don't tell me
I
an
think I have
audit.
a slide.
No.
A time management worksheet.
All right, let's
And
check it out.
A worksheet. And this you can download from the internet.
Yeah.
There are many templates. And you might say, but I don't have time to monitor my time. No, this doesn't mean you're sitting there all day and say, okay, I drank coffee 2 minutes. I brush my teeth. No, you don't need to stop every minute in your day to log it. Just be aware. At some point in your day or at the end of the day, you sit down and you say, okay, getting ready for work, 7 to 9, I got up. And you log that for a week. For a week, you sit down and you just become aware of how you're spending your time.
That's training yourself.
That's
to-
training, yes. And then you look at that. And if it doesn't scare you,
Be honest with yourself. It's much like budgeting. You got to do that money audit
Exactly.
first to see where your money's going. Then you
Exactly.
realize, oops, I spent extra hair and I shouldn't.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You need to be aware. And then you need to now transfer that data into something manageable.
Okay.
So when you look at your data now, you're thinking to yourself, okay, am I wasting time? And so you look at what are some of those time wasters in my log? Because you need to personalize it. Nobody should be telling you you're wasting time.
Yeah.
You personalize it and you look at those data and you say, okay, yeah, I can do. And then you identify some of those time wasters.
So what's key here, because I'm imagining people are at home thinking, man, I'm going to fit in more time for work or whatever it is, but it depends on the goal. Because if my goal is, I need to spend more quality time with my family, which some people struggle with.
Yeah.
You can be able to even identify those types of times.
Exactly. You can. It's across the board, whatever your goal is. And it doesn't have to be tied to just work. It can be
Yes.
tied to, like you said, spending more time with your family, quality time, maybe more interaction with friends that bring that quality to you. But
course.
it starts at your goal, whatever your goal is. So
Yeah.
you need to know what your priorities are and what is important
Yes.
to you. And so let's look at some of those time wasters.
Absolutely.
High on the list is procrastination. And that is one that I think if most people are honest, they struggle with.
Yes.
Yep.
Right? You procrastinate. You have something to do. It's probably due on Friday. So maybe, so you don't start. Today's Monday. And then so Monday is like, and then Tuesday, I start looking at it. So how do you beat procrastination, nip it in the bud, really is something that a lot of people struggle with. And Parkinson's talk about that. There's Parkinson's law. And it's so easy to apply.
All right.
It's so easy
Tell
to
us.
apply.
How easy?
Really. We can go to that slide. Because
Yeah.
what Parkinson's talk about is in relation to time.
Okay.
That the amount of time that you allot to do an activity, that's the time it will take.
Yeah.
So if you give yourself a week to cut the yard, it's going to take a
Cut the
week.
yeah.
So you need to then create that artificial urgency. You have to create the fire.
Artificial urgency.
You create
So
the
what
fire.
you're doing, or you're putting fake deadlines.
Yes,
in
you're
place.
telling yourself, I need to be done with this task by Wednesday.
Yeah.
By Wednesday, by Wednesday, by Wednesday. And so Wednesday become the urgency.
The urgency.
Not Friday when the paper is due, dear students.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
But at this particular point now, this starts because you've already taken that week to track your time. Because look, if I know that I'll put in my my fake deadline, I'm gonna do it by Wednesday. Wednesday comes or Tuesday comes, and I'll say, you know what? I'm just putting this to myself. Simply means that I'm lacking in discipline.
Exactly.
And Charlene,
exactly.
Charlotte, quickly, and I've said this already. Yeah, you look like that lady. And I've said this already, that the biggest excuse for procrastination is the excuse of I work better under
Under
pressure.
pressure.
How do you nip that in the bud?
You don't, because that is indeed a fact that most people work. So this is why.
So it's
this
a reality.
law-
We're
actually
wired
works.
differently. Some people do need that added pressure.
Exactly.
But that's why you're saying put other
is
deadlines.
that some people put too much pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
You unrealistically assume that you need 24 hours to do this task.
Yeah.
And you're not doing your best in 24 hours, because had you spent 48 hours, you would have gotten a far better result.
Yeah.
So the pressure is indeed a factor. But you want to be careful to balance that pressure, that
Yeah.
it doesn't become so stressful that it's overwhelming to you now and you're feeling so stressed. So it can't be the overnight before. If it's due on Wednesday, then
Yeah.
you need to start by Tuesday. If you want to get the best result, you
Yeah.
can probably start on Wednesday and still get a good result, you know.
Yeah.
But again, what is it that you're trying to achieve? In
Yeah.
our organization, it's excellence,
Yeah.
and excellence can't be
Be
had
achieved.
overnight.
So that goal has to be solid,
That's
and
right.
that's what you're
Exactly.
continuously focusing
Exactly.
on.
And you push yourself. But the idea is that you don't need a week.
Yeah.
Don't give yourself a week.
I like what you're doing. It's like tricking the system. So you're saying you work better under pressure. And I understand, because what John is saying, type A people won't get it. Like, if you have a type A personality, naturally, this is not a problem for you.
Exactly.
You'll have other
Exactly.
issues, but not this one.
Exactly.
Because just naturally your personality is wired to go that way. You get it, you do it. That's who you
Exactly.
are. But for those who struggle, you're saying give yourself an opportunity to feel that sense of urgency by putting in a different deadline for
Create
yourself.
a fire.
Yeah.
Create the fire, because when the fire is near, you don't have time to think about anything
Yeah.
else. You can't even grab anything. It's like the focus is on the fire.
Yeah.
So you have to create the fire, create the sense of urgency so that you can get it done.
And the discipline comes from that goal.
Yes, because it's self-discipline as well.
Yeah.
Self-discipline, self-control. If there's a fire at your door, you're not, posting on Instagram. You're not,
fine.
you're dealing with
Yeah,
the
you need to,
fire,
of course.
right?
Right.
So you eliminate all of those distractions. Procrastination is one. We know social media has become one of the biggest distractions ever. And that's a personal one. People need to learn how to manage social media. So
Yes.
it's not, because it has affected employers and employees in so many ways. It's unthinkable. You go into organizations and people have their phone and they're on their phone at the front desk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nobody can't be monitoring you all day.
That's
you
right.
need to be aware that this is a distraction.
And this is when it comes that the employee would actually take away the social media time, and then the employers do that. Then the employees, they get upset and say that, you know what, the workplace is not being fair.
Exactly, right? You need to manage it. I advocate for opening the social media, because there's so much that you can learn
Yeah.
as well from having it available to your employees.
Yeah.
But they need to learn to manage. Again, what is your goal? What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? You need to be aware of that at all times. There are some distractions like busy. Some people don't realize that that's a distraction. You would see people and they're like, you can't get to see them because
Yeah.
they're either always on the phone, they're running from one meeting to the next, they're book solid,
Yeah.
right? And that's another principle that we look at.
Yeah.
We call it the Eisenhower matrix. Most people know it as the urgent important
Yeah.
matrix, right? And it's looking at what are your priorities?
Yeah.
What are those things you can eliminate? What are those things you can delegate?
Yeah.
And so again, looking at your audit of how you're spending your time, you need to go in there and find where are you going to put all those activities.
So I want to go to the next one, because I think this is an interesting one. Managing interruptions, because that's external. That has very little to do with me in some ways, because I can't control when my phone rings. If I can't control who comes to my office, I can't control if there's someone who comes from outside to see or meet with me, and that alone has already thrown my schedule off. So how do you manage that?
You do. And you see, in this world, again, it goes back to your goals.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer your phone every single time it rings. But then again, if you want
Or
to be
every message in the
important-
WhatsApp group.
Exactly, right? So the phone rings, you look at it, there's a caller ID. you even have the option to switch it off and say, I'll call you later.
Yeah.
There's an auto
There's-
message.
yeah.
So you're not really ignoring the person.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends don't like to call me and say, text me,
Yeah.
and then I'll get back
That's
to you. Because it means I can't stop in the middle of my day. Like
Yeah.
if my phone rings right now, will I answer it? No,
Yeah.
because so
We're live,
you
yes.
have to manage
Yeah.
how you respond to these devices and
Yeah.
to interruptions.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to the door. It's okay to be able to say to them, can we reschedule?
Yeah.
Can we reschedule? I'll be free between 12:30 and 1.
Yeah.
Can you come back then?
Yeah.
Some people might feel offended, but you had set your goal for that day. You've made a plan and you need to be achieving that. Remember, that's the key.
Yeah.
If you're not planning your day, then somebody else will plan it for you, right? An extended lunch break might look attractive if you didn't have something already slot in your day for that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
One of the other things is like saying no. Like you already have your plan, which is tied to your goal, which is tied to your vision and the things you want to achieve. And then, it's like,
We can do a whole other show on that
yeah,
one.
Exactly, right? So you
Right?
need to be able to say no. You have to manage, and people will understand over time. You might lose some friends,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because Pareto is saying that, 80% of those friends don't really add value to your life anyway, right? And that might be, and so it's not to say, hey, go now
man.
and eliminate your friends,
Yeah.
but you need to start deciding how much
they can
time you're
respect
going
your
to
boundaries.
exactly spend with these friends.
So
I
there's
think the phone thing is also really critical because we don't realize it. So there was a study that was done recently, and it's fascinating because they tested the productivity level that you have. Did you know that in order to you lose productivity by just your phone being in the same room?
Yes.
And to be able to really focus, it's better for women to have it in another room and men in their pockets. Because the sheer fact that it is there, you've lost productivity.
Exactly.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It is a fact. And it's okay to have your phone somewhere else. You can always go and check every half hour. Say, I'll
Yeah.
go and check my phone. Keep it on silent as well. Because it means that the ringing won't automatically attract you to
Attract
go
you.
and pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Keep it on silent.
Yeah.
You have to keep focused. Productivity.
Yeah.
Productivity.
Well, this part is this is actually a part of training for your time management.
Yes,
but
it is.
I wanted to touch because there are some people that would tell you know what, one of my joys or how I feel happy is when people feel happy. So I'm not necessarily focusing on myself. It comes across as that. So I want to ask you that while I'm tracking my time management or doing my time management, there are a few things I might lose, but it's okay. Friendship is one of them. Can you tell us a few more? And this is important because if I want to get this done, I need to be disciplined. I need to make sure that I understand what time management is. So we lose friendship.
Before I say what else we lose time, of course.
Yeah.
But you have to recognize in which business you're in.
Yeah.
Right? Because at the end of the day, you want to spend quality time with your friends and you want to be available for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But you can't, you simply cannot. There are some people who are outing fires and managing crises all day long.
Yeah.
And not their crisis either. Somebody else. And then they go home and they feel drained and they say, but they need me.
Yeah.
What will they do without me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But go see.
Well, they'll
counseling.
never learn to out the fires on their own.
Exactly. And then it's the same issues over and over and you're counseling on the same issue. So it's a matter of your values, what you
Yeah.
value. If friendship is what you value, you're saying you're losing out on other things. But again, go back to your goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back to your goals. Your friends will understand.
They will
you know.
understand.
You make time for them. It's like, okay, I'll call you 7 tonight when I'm done making dinner.
Yeah.
And then you do that. So you're not ignoring, but you're postponing.
Yeah.
And maybe when you call 7, they'll say, I sorted it out already.
Yeah.
I was able to find a solution,
Yeah.
right?
Which
I love
is
it.
wonderful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you should never be satisfied at the end of the day to look at the things you've set out to achieve.
You don't
And-
want this, which is what many of us do.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? And this is a reality. That's the 80-20. Some
Yeah.
people like to use it in terms of relationship, and I could never understand why. Because really and truly, it's not a relationship principle.
Okay.
But it appears everywhere in life.
Yeah.
You use 80%, 20% of your shoe.
Yeah.
You use 20% of your clothes the most. The other 80% really is just filling up the closet. Right?
That's not true.
So you need to find that 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is directly related to your goals.
Yeah.
What is it that's giving me the returns? And for you, if it's, you know, entertaining your friends or making them happy, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But it goes back again to your goals. What is it you're trying to achieve?
So I love what you're offering us here in terms of how to get there. And the Eisenhower matrix is really one of the ways to differentiate. Because one of the first things you're suggesting we need to teach ourselves is the difference between urgent and important. And what's urgent isn't always important, and what's important isn't always urgent.
Exactly.
Help us here. Put it into
look
perspective.
that. For a lot of leaders, you will find, like I said, meetings, phones.
Yeah.
A lot of these things you could either delegate, plan, or manage. You don't need to be at all these meetings. Again, what is your goal? Can you send somebody else? And then they give you a synopsis of the meeting.
Yeah.
But that idea of being important is so precious to some of us, you know, that we attend all the meetings and then we're always busy, right? So you need to look at that. Some phone calls you can really delegate. You can transfer them to somebody else and somebody else can deal with that issue. You can plan your time so that there are things that if you don't plan, they're not urgent now, but they become urgent.
Yeah.
Those are things like your medical checkups
Yeah.
yearly. You know, you have a nagging headache. I need to go to the doctor. Let me plan that. It's not urgent now, but if you don't deal with it, it becomes urgent. You know, your personal issues, your finances, I need to work on this. It soon becomes urgent.
They are
right?
important.
So, but they're not urgent.
But
So
they're
you
not
need to
urgent.
categorize these things.
So what you do is put it in a quadrant.
And you put it in a quadrant,
Yeah.
right? There are things you eliminate right off. I usually start there. Start there with the
So
stuff
we
you
have
can
we have
eliminate.
a chart if you could show it so people can see what we're talking about.
You just eliminate those.
Yeah.
Time wasters, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
And you really need to eliminate those. Just get them off.
Yeah.
And then you move to your...
So those are the things that are not urgent and
they're
not important.
They're not urgent. They're not important.
Yeah.
You get rid of them.
Yeah.
Right. And then you move to delegate. What are these things that are important?
Here we go.
Yes. They're not important, but they're urgent, right? And we call it the quadrant of deception, right? So there's some mails report. Again, are these things that somebody else can be doing,
Yeah.
right? Are these things interruptions, again, some calls?
Yeah.
And then you want to focus on your not urgent, but important,
Yeah.
right? And we give some examples. Exercise. It might seem, but this is not
And we love
urgent,
putting
but
that
it's
one here, right?
Oh no, it belongs there, right? Because then health issues develop, etc., and so it
And then
becomes,
it becomes
urgent,
urgent
right?
and important.
And so all those things that you would have been focusing on needs to stop now, and you have to be focusing on your medical issues. So you really need to be aware. There are so many tools, techniques, activities that you can use if you're only time aware
Yeah.
to manage your time. It's so important. There are people who are late to every single event, function, even their funeral, I believe, because it's just, and then they rush in, interrupt everybody else. It's like, no man, plan ahead.
Yeah.
Plan ahead. I need to be there first, and you plan ahead.
Yeah.
It's planning. It's really planning, and keeping your eyes on your goal.
So when you look at this chart and you've put in what's urgent, what's important, what's urgent, not important, and you go through all of that. Let's say you do a to-do list for today. Where do you start?
You look at your to-do list and you look at your urgent, important.
Yeah.
Because the only thing with this matrix, it doesn't assign time.
Yeah.
So you need to also be deciding how long you're going to spend on what. Because it could be urgent and important, but if you're spending too much time on
If
it.
you still do
then
all day just doing that.
Exactly. Then you're not being effective at all and efficient. So you need to decide. I use an example with a colleague about doing a research paper or even a presentation. And sometimes just that first slide, because you're looking for the perfect picture, because it needs to look right and fun, and you spend so much time doing that. You need to be aware of that. After you've searched a couple, sites and pictures, settle for one, because it has met its objective. It's really not that important that you spend an entire hour getting that just and those are the things that some types of personalities struggle with, right? You're doing a research and then next thing you know, 5-6 hours you're still, and then you come back and it's like, okay, where did I start?
Yeah.
And so 6 hours really has gone, and you've
Just
not
by looking at phones.
exactly, you've not really come up with anything. So you need to be managing those aspects as well, because you will have a lot on your to-do list and on your plate. A lot of people too, they start so many things and they find they don't finish.
Yeah.
And then they're like, they're not managing
Because
their
we're
time.
not all innate multitaskers. Some of us
Exactly.
need to have that dedicated focus.
Exactly. Try to, as much as you can, finish one thing.
Yeah.
Because success breeds success.
Of course.
Right? Completion breeds completion. This was the last one. There's this theory that,
I love
and I
this so
totally
much.
agree,
I do too.
that you can only make so much good decisions per day. And that has an impact on time management. Because the minute you start, losing that, your decision becomes inhibited,
Yeah.
you spend far more time trying to get the same result you would have if you had a fresh mind.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
kids bring home homework sometime in the evening and I'm like, this looks so hard.
Yeah.
This is elementary.
Yeah.
But I am tired. I've
Yeah.
used up all
But
my
that's like
decision for the
recalling
day.
way back. That's hard
Exactly.
work.
But when I get up in the morning, it's fresh again.
Yeah.
You see, and I love this. I read about this one, and one of the things they describe it as, it's like physical strength.
Yes.
So you can be a strong person, but that actually, it wears down
It
over
wears
time.
down.
If you're
It
lifting
wears
heavy
down.
boxes, the last box is
wears
going to be a lot
down.
heavier than the first.
Yep.
So if you're making a lot of decisions, which is why Mark Zuckerberg and some of the top
Exactly.
CEOs wear the same things
same
all the
thing,
time.
all the time.
Because that's one
Yeah.
less decision to
to make in the morning.
Love
Exactly.
it. I
So when
love
you're
it.
getting up and you're checking Facebook and you're answering emails first thing in the morning, be mindful that by the end of the evening you're tired, and did you start attacking your important stuff leading to your goals?
Yeah.
Did you? Because you're making
Did you
decisions.
save that brain power for decisions to
Exactly,
come?
right? So you're depleting, and then you have to go rest and get renewed. So
Charlotte, you have only given us a taste of what you can offer
We
us.
need to
I
bring her
have to
back,
be
yes.
honest. We'll share some of these resources online and the ones we didn't get to tackle. But of course, in the meantime, you can be able to contact her through her business and set up your own training for time management or many other things.
Yeah, our email is very easy. It's the Belize Institute for Excellence at gmail.com. My phone number is 621-7314. You can find me on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. The Belize Institute for Service Excellence, Leadership and Research. Let's customize your training and let's start growing your organizations for you.
Thank you so much, and we're going to be good
Gracias,
with time
gracias.
management and cut it off here. But we really appreciate the conversation.
Indeed.
It was
indeed.
my pleasure indeed. Enjoy the rest of your day, Belize, and be dry.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, Caribbean YouTube sensation will be joining us, Danielle Loveless. So please stay tuned.
"65 years ago, Don Omario started
Y-E-S spells yes, then what does E-Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
One more time. If Y-E-S spells yes, then what does E-Y-E-S spell?
Yes.
Last time. Just one more time for emphasis. Think about it. Listen to the question carefully. If Y-E-S spells yes, forget that part.
Yes.
What does E-Y-E-S spell?
Yes. That is where it goes spell.
It spells eyes.
Oh, E-Y-E-S. Well, can I just say eyes?
And there you have it. What better introduction than to see his work for yourself. Of course, we are joined in studio by Daniel Loveless.
That's correct, yeah.
Social media sensation.
Definitely.
You're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Correct.
And it all started with What You Know.
What you know, anything you know.
Yeah. Daniel.
Welcome to the country.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to Belize. Your
Thank
first
you.
time, right?
My first time indeed, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your impression so far?
I love it. The hospitality is amazing. Everybody is calling me out in the streets. People are in the airport there waiting, screaming for me. I'm like, yo, screaming for me? Yeah. It's like, wow. It's
We're very hospitable people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Guyana. When I went to Guyana, same thing. Same kind of effect. Yeah.
All right.
So let's just dive into it. You started the show online. You went immediately online and you started in Trinidad where you're
Correct.
from.
Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, yeah.
So where did the concept come from?
So I always had that personality dealing with people. I was always a personable people with a very charismatic personality.
Yeah.
So I decided to try to do something that I could basically test the knowledge of people. I am a person always looking to find out more. I was trying to dig deep into things and get into people's minds. So I was like, it'd be a cool idea to do something called, What You Know. And I decided to call it What You Know initially. And then I changed you to you to give it that Trini touch, to give that.
Caribbean
Trini to the bone, you know what I mean? And that's how What You Know began.
So you pick up a phone and you just tell a friend, hey, start shooting me?
Yeah, so at the time I had a friend who I was going to a church at the time, and he assisted me because he was a photographer by, just recording. We just went out on the street. He was like, bro, your personality is amazing, and I think you can make a good career out of this. And I was like, why the hell not? Let's go, let's get it done. And we just went out on the streets. We started recording and asked people simple questions like, what are the national birds? Simple, cultural questions about the country, etc.
Yeah.
And it worked well. It worked well. And from there, I just never stopped. I mean, this is my 4th year doing What You Know. I just did not stop.
Yeah. At what point did you realize that you had created something that people would gravitate towards?
Well, when I looked at it the first time, I was like, this is funny. This is really funny.
Yeah.
So I showed my mom it, I showed my girlfriend at the time it. I was like, girl, check this out. I showed the neighbors, I showed everyone. I was like, this is it, What You Know.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they were even as passionate about it as me. They was like, all right, cool, funny thing.
Yeah.
When I was so passionate about What You Know, so I just put it out there on my personal profile, Daniel Loveless.
Yeah.
And it was viral, 574,000 views. Remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And it went viral. So I was
that's
like,
all the incentive you need to get.
I
back
was
out
like,
there.
we need to continue doing this. We need to make this into something.
Now Trinidad is Port of Spain especially is far more populated than Belize.
Yes.
So you go back out there, people know you. They don't start to avoid you like, oh, that man comes.
But I'm a convincing person. So usually I tell them things like, try your thing now, man. Oh gosh, man. Come now, man. I'm watching you from down the road and I know that you can answer my question.
Yeah.
And basically convincing people to answer questions, showing them, it's not about making fun as well of you, but it's more about learning. And I go ahead.
And that's the thing. That's where I wanted to go because going out there and people wouldn't even see it as that I'm learning. You're actually making fun. So this is what people need to understand.
Yeah.
Reading, learning is very important.
Exactly.
you surely love to read. This is one of the things that,
I
of
do,
course.
yeah, love to, yeah. And the thing about it is that when I started, people felt, certain people in Trinidad and Tobago and maybe across the world felt as if I was making fun of people. And looking back at old videos, I could really see why they felt that way.
Yeah.
So I had to now transform the brand into something that people could actually laugh and learn. So now I ask questions like, I could ask you a question that you may not know, and like simple question like, give me a word that begins with the word Q and the second letter is not you. And right there and then.
No, that's Quest.
Let me hear. Yeah, you see? Yeah.
Q-tip.
I mean, kinda, yeah, but there's actually QWERTY, which is QWERTY. That's
Quill.
Quill is you.
Yeah, Quill is you, but QWERTY, that's the standard English format on typewriters and keyboards. There's She, which is QI, which is a Chinese philosophy. So it's things, it's about education. So I went to Miami and I asked a lady, give me a word that begins with letter Q, second letter is not you. She was like, queen, quit. So that, we laugh. But to the end of the day, after I said, well, no, this is the answer. So if you didn't know,
you know.
Now you know.
You had fun learning.
Exactly.
And what you have created without even trying is edutainment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Correct.
How do you,
don't beat up, man.
How do you work with, because you said you're great with people, and that's key in this.
Yeah,
because
correct.
when someone feels like they're being made fun of, sometimes they could get aggressive or angry.
Correct.
So what do you do to manage the situation when they realize they're just tanking?
Yeah, so
like they're not looking very smart right now.
I explain to them a strategy I'm using these days. I'm like, I just tell them, we go laugh at you a little bit, We go laugh at you a little bit, but you're learning something. Yeah. So it's either you know or you don't know, So we go laugh at you a little bit, but at the end of the day, you learn something. And, we promote education through entertainment worldwide.
Yeah.
So although you may not know something, you might have a little giggle out of it, you still learn something. And I realize that is working really well. People, they don't feel as if they're being embarrassed, but they feel like they're learning something.
Yeah.
So it's like most of the times when I tell them QWERTY, they was like, well, I didn't know that. But now I know,
So when do we start recording in the country?
Today. I'm actually starting today. I'm in the streets of Belize City around, talking to people, asking some questions.
But this is a big move. I don't want to skip over that. So you were doing well in Trinidad.
Yes, indeed.
But you decided, I'm going to take that move and go beyond Trinidad.
I'm going to go beyond. I'm trying to expand the brand.
What prompted that?
I always had the vision to travel the world and ask people questions. So I always had wrote it down. And I met this guy in Trinidad, actually. He was on vacation in Trinidad. His name is Akil Hayward. And I met Akil, and he was like, you should come to Canada and do what you know. But I met a lot of people who tell me, we should do this, we should do that, talk. So I was like, okay, yeah, bro, let's get it done, whatever. He actually went through the process, assist me getting my documents, because I didn't know about visa and traveling, and I just had a Trinidad passport. And Akil assisted me in getting things done. And when he brought me to Canada and I came back to Trinidad, I was like, bro, this was a success. I got it done. I was like, nah, I can't stop. Akil opened a door for me that no one could ever close. So I decided, you know what? I'm going. London. Well, I didn't have a US visa at that time, so I was like, London, I could go London without a visa. Guyana. I just started to go places over and over. I just went for my visa. I didn't care. You have to tell me, yes, I'm going all over the world. I was real. This is what I want to do. I want to go all over the world, ask people questions. And I just continue. Anywhere in the world, I go in. Ghana, Nigeria, everywhere.
So how do you choose Belize?
Because you see, I interact with people live on my phone with the audience. And people tell me where to come. So my audience guides me as to what they want me to do. For a long time, people was like, come to Belize, come to Belize, come to Belize. And, to be honest, it's cheaper to fly through Miami to come to Belize
rather than
flying from Trinidad and Panama. It's a little more expensive. So that's why I was kind of ducking coming Belize. I got US visa. I was like, well, what you know Belize, you know what I mean?
So how many countries have you visited so far?
I have
visited
this
for 4 years. So.
I have visited. Well, it's only the beginning of 2019 I began traveling.
Year.
So I have visited about 8 destinations so far: Canada, Guyana, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Miami, New York. If I forget any places, Barbados. I actually did Barbados. I actually never really visited Barbados. Just on an 8-hour layover before I went to London. So I just left the airport. Bridgestone is going down there, boom, 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 straight to the airport. London one time. And I just want to go more places.
So tell me, I actually really love the Canada one.
I'm happy to hear.
Because I think that it's interesting when we see the cultural differences. So in Caribbean, like the flavor in Jamaica and other Caribbean places, they're going to be a bit similar. But then you go into Canada And first of all, they think you're begging for money.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy who says, "Is like, what do you want from me? I want money."
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I enjoy seeing the cultural differences. It's sometimes different to visit like the States and Canada. It's a little more difficult to produce content because sometimes people don't understand you, and I don't want to switch up my accent like, this is your boy Daniel reporting from Canada, to ask what you know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep that accent, and so it's a bit more difficult sometimes you're talking to people on the streets. They don't wanna talk to you, kind of denial. But I don't quit. That's the thing about me. I went to Miami. And I was recording places, and out of 100 people, about 90 may have said no, but I did not care.
Yeah.
I came to do what you know. I always walk around with these little cards here, so that if you didn't know about the show, now you know. It says what you know. Warning, you will laugh till you cry.
Yeah.
Follow what you know, YouTube, everything. There's not my number on it because I don't want 350,000 people calling me. But share the card, share the and just
Nice.
not giving up. That's the message here.
One of the things that stand out about you is your apparel. Every suit you wear, you go on.
If I tell you the story about this, I was trying to partner with different clothing stores in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
This wasn't working out. It just wasn't working out. Everybody wanted to just take out, put a jersey on and wear it. And I was like, you know what? And then a lot of these stores weren't speaking my style as well. I wanted to create that. When you see this, it's me. It's me. I wanted to create a personality. I wanted to speak Daniel Loveless. Let people understand who I am. Even if you don't know, that guy with that headband, And that's why, I just said, you know what?
And bright and colorful and Caribbean.
Why not? I was like, so I no longer go in by any store to buy any clothes. I'll make my own clothes.
Do your own thing?
Yeah, I do my own thing,
Then you look that up on the shelf.
Yeah. So I make my pants, everything custom made. I mean, not the shoes. This is a jeans, this is a Perialis jeans.
Really?
But I bought this one. But I mean, other than that, I like to make
you
myself.
bring out the shoes on your own.
No, well, I actually bought the shoes. I saw it in a store. I was like, superstar, gotta buy that.
You're only 21.
I am 21.
So you've really accomplished a lot in such a short time.
Grateful for that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the things you did was you were ahead of the game in attempting to get online and get your content online.
Yes.
It's probably been a learning process for you. Tell me about some of the things that you've learned along the way. I'm sure it's important for people to know that it's not an easy ride.
Yeah, it's not. So a lot of the thing is, accepting criticism.
Of course.
A literacy organization in Trinidad, lashed out a bit, and we had a little controversy.
Why literacy though?
They are a literacy organization in Trinidad, and they had a little something they wanted to.
They thought you were making people look illiterate.
Yeah. So I woke up a day, I just saw my face on all the news and what versus the literacy organization, and but looking back at it, I see why people felt that way.
Yeah.
So in that moment I was really emotional about it, like, come on, I have a passion for this, I'm doing my thing, support local, whatever, no. And then I look back at it and understand why. Because I look at the show now and I feel more educated.
So you changed the format of the questions.
Of the question. So we still get our laugh, but we learn something, and I always seek to up the educational value of the show. So that's what I'm trying to do this season 6 year.
Yeah.
Were you afraid
critical point though? You didn't lash back at them.
Yeah.
You reflected and saw what needed to change.
Correct.
That's not easy to do when you are the creator of the content.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
One of the things that we always talk about on this show, because we try to get people into it, is entrepreneurship.
Good.
Were you afraid to fail?
No, never. I don't believe in failure. That's just not my DNA. That's just not how my mom raised me. I read too much. I know the secret. I know how to succeed, and I will succeed. So that's the thing about it. Failure is like, I don't even think about that. I wake up every day and just carry my energy, and just I just deal with obstacles. I flew to Miami. I flew a guy from LA to come to be in Miami with me. He missed his flight, so I was there alone in Miami. I figured it out. I made the right connections. I don't quit. I just talk to him like, all right, what's the problem? You missed your flight? Okay, no problem, bro. Get some sleep. Boom. I need to figure that out.
Yeah.
I can't fail. I can't be out here. I invest my money to be in Miami.
Yeah.
I need to create content, and that's exactly what I did.
They're not sponsored trips. You are currently traveling on your own dime.
Yeah, basically. And companies advertise through ad breaks within the show. But even with advertising within the ad breaks within the show, most of the money goes back into traveling. Traveling is not cheap,
It's not cheap.
Yeah, so.
See, and I love that you said that, because a lot of times people are sitting back waiting for the opportunity, like, The phone's
Yeah,
not ringing
no,
yet.
no.
They haven't called me to
I
come
don't
to
know what's
Belize
that, my
yet.
dear. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't wait on that. I don't wait on sponsors and money, and I don't even care. I could have $0 and 0 cents, and next month I go in South Africa. I go in Nigeria. I don't care how it's gonna get done, but it's gonna get done. The universe is gonna align, and I am gonna make it happen.
So 2019 was the year you took it off into the world.
Correct.
What's been the best experience so far?
I mean, the hospitality in Guyana was amazing. It was amazing, and the thing about Guyana, it wasn't expected. I just, I didn't know I was so big in Guyana. When I got there, I was like, wow.
Really?
That was love. I tell people that the only love that could compare to my mother's love is the love of Guyana.
Wow.
And then the thing with Belize now is when I was coming here, while Guyana, it wasn't expected, it was expected. People in the comments, I think, I between Belize and Guyana, I don't know.
Yeah.
The love here is amazing. My schedule is packed with interviews, TV interviews, everything.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Did you expect to be on TV? This is the biggest show you could be on in the country.
Serious,
Did you
I don't
expect
even know. So I am very, very humble and grateful to be here. I have Ashanti, which is a member of my team in Belize, who is assisting in getting things done. She's doing an amazing job. Keisha, Marcus. And they're putting things together. So I just basically go with the flow. Schedule is just filled with stuff, and I'm enjoying it,
And are you just looking forward to getting on the streets?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I'm looking on, manifesting.
So what's
that
your
energy.
approach, right? You see somebody, they look a little serious. You're like,
I'll be
that's the
listen,
one I
let me
wanna
get 2 minutes
camera.
at a time. Sometimes they say no, I say, all right, let me get 120 seconds at a time. If they say no, I say 60 seconds. Come now, man, 55 seconds. Let me just get a little bit at a time. Just ask you a few questions, fun show, what should let me show. And just interact with them, if they don't want to do it, all right, let me make a deal. If they don't want to do it, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to make money, bro, subscribe to my YouTube, watch my ads, please. That's the least you can do for me, support me. Subscribe to my YouTube, you'd rather answer any questions, and just talk to people, interact with people, and let my charismatic personality lead the way,
Nice. So Daniel, can we get 60 seconds of your time?
Why not?
All right, good.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
What you know?
Listen, remember I tell you I did my research on the plane, so
Wait, see, that's why we made it easy. It has nothing to do with Belize.
Okay,
it's
right.
Just questions. It's just that we'll see if you can figure out.
Already.
All right. What can travel around the world but stay in a corner?
When I travel around the world, I stay in my corner and do my thing. I say Daniel Loveless. But what can travel around the world but stay in a corner? Is it the sun? No?
A stamp.
A stamp. Wow, I like that one. That was a good one. That was a nice one.
All right. Feed me and I live.
Right.
But if you give me a drink, I die. What am I?
Feed me and I will live. Yeah. But if you give me a drink, I'll die.
I'm gonna die.
Wow. Feed me and I will live. But give me a plant. I mean, if you give a plant alcohol. I like
I love this one though. Take off my skin, I won't cry, but you will. What am I?
Take off my skin, and
I won't cry, but you will.
What am I?
A snake. Oh gosh, I got I understand how people feel on the streets now.
Yeah, you get put on the spot there.
You, dear Daniel, would be an onion.
Wow, an onion, I love that one.
Finally for you.
Right.
What can you catch but not throw?
What can you catch
but not throw?
But not throw. I won't say a virus. I don't know. What you can catch but not throw. No, okay, a virus. I don't know. A cold. A cold. All right. So I don't know about after all.
So when you get into the situation, and I love that you did it, because you know what? If you're gonna put people on the spot, you got to do it as well.
Yeah. And I actually enjoy me being in the spotlight as well, because I was asked a question. I asked a question in Miami. On the military clock, what is 1800 hours? They was like, I don't know, 2 or whatever. I said, all right, cool. It's actually 6. So if you didn't know now, you know. And an easy way to remember it is that any number on the military clock, subtract 12 from it. So I say like 23 minus 12, and I was like 10. On the camera, and I'm gonna put that in the episode actually, where you see me mess up myself. You know?
But see, the thing is, and we cheated because we got these provided. So, but coming up with the questions is important, and I gotta understand how that eyes question throws people off. Where does that come from?
I don't even know.
I saw it just, I'm like,
EYES. Eyes, And then I asked a top question too. I don't know if you ever.
Or the precious is.
You all ever heard of the top question?
No.
You don't know? Can I ask you guys?
Of course.
Spell the word top for me.
TOP.
Say the word top for me 2 times really fast. Top, top.
Top.
3 times really fast.
Top, top,
4
top.
times really fast.
Top, top, top,
What
top.
do you do at a green light?
Stop. I love that because you
You
go.
go! Alright, that's what we're talking
on guard
about.
then.
Yeah. So I love little questions like that. You know?
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. You know what? You continue to be a sensation throughout the country,
Yes.
throughout the world.
Yes.
And of course, you're big in Belize. When you got in yesterday and you were
Everybody
on
screaming.
Facebook and everybody was
Oh
like,
my
"Oh,
gosh.
Daniel coming."
What's going
What's
on?
your message to Belizeans, bro?
You know, thank you for the love. I'm humbled by the love. You know, as I say, I try to stay grounded. So if you find that I made a post on Instagram yesterday, I prefer to fly economy over first class. I like to stay in communities over 5-star hotels. Right now, I ain't staying at a 5-star hotel. I like to stay in communities and, you know, see people,
the
deal with
real
people.
feel of the country.
Yeah, I like that, you know. So, just thank you for the love, and you know, any youths looking, you know, anybody going through a hard time, don't give up on your dreams. I do it. I pick up myself, I jump on planes, I go to places. Half the time, or some maybe more than half the time, I don't even know how certain things are gonna turn out.
Yeah.
But I just don't quit. I just go because Mama never raised a failure, bro. Come on, bro.
She worked too hard.
Yeah.
So where next? Where to next? Follow me.
Belize. So I'm doing the stories. It's 8 destinations. So I started in Miami, Belize. From here I head to Los Angeles, then to Las Vegas, Grenada, St. Vincent. I'm going back home for 1 day. Then I go in Guyana.
Nice.
So 8 destinations. I just go in Barbados, everywhere.
You come
All
out
right.
to live
All
the
over.
life.
Yeah.
And of course, if you see him on the streets, you won't be able to miss him wearing his own custom gear.
Yes.
And if you want to specifically go out to find him, you have a meet and greet
That's
happening
correct.
on Friday.
At the 501 Hub, yes.
That's
Nice.
Yeah,
So
from
that's where-
7 p.m. So that's where people could come see me.
People are going to come with their trivia for you, so you're going to be ready,
I'm looking
right?
forward to meeting you guys. Everyone come out Friday, 7 p.m., 501 Hub. Looking forward.
And we'll just wait for that episode. How quickly do you get it together?
I'm looking to release, because it's a new season, so I'm looking to release it on February 1st.
Okay.
So that's where the first. I
Just
feel I'll
about
launch
2
it with
weeks' time.
Belize, yeah.
Yeah, well, Daniel, we are so grateful you took the time to come in.
I thank you guys, yeah.
Excellent,
And
brother.
I'm very sure we're going to be seeing a lot more
Definitely.
of you. Best of luck as
Definitely.
you grow.
Thank you, and I'll be back.
Yeah. Remember, if you want to see more of Daniel's videos, he's on Instagram, Facebook,
That's correct.
YouTube. Subscribe. The season starts
February 1st, yeah.
February 1st, and you can even watch the older content.
That's
you
correct.
will laugh until you cry.
Yeah.
You will.
YouTube, what you know, Instagram, at what you know, TT,
You'll
Facebook.
also feel a little
what
smarter
you know.
too,
Yeah.
right?
Check it out. You love it.
Learn.
All right. Thank you so much. We're going
Thank
to
you,
go
bro.
ahead and
Appreciate
take
it a
the
lot.
break.
And if you didn't know, now you know.
All right, we'll take that foodie tour when we come back. We got Guava Lim Cafe in the house. They're getting ready to cook up. Please stay tuned.
Yeah, so you see, you like the glasses, so go ahead. Take it. Yeah, take it. Go ahead. Yeah, right. She loves the glasses, so she's gonna take it from me. Wow. What is Budget? Budget? Budget.
With over 100 years of service excellence in Belize,
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes on this lovely Wednesday morning. And it's the final segment for the morning. It's actually a foodie tour. And we are being visited by none other than the folks from Guava Lim in beautiful San Ignacio. In with us, we've got Edwin Alvarado, who is the chef. They're at the Guava Lim Cafe. And Giuliani Murray, who is the manager. Guys, good morning and Happy New Year.
Good morning.
Good morning to
How do you say Happy New Year in Guava Lim language?
Happy New Year.
Just like that. But it's nice to have you guys in Guava Lim, one of the top spots in San Ignacio. Let's talk about that spot a little before we continue.
So the Guava Lim Cafe is a nice boutique restaurant.
Yeah.
Very quiet,
Yeah.
set in the edge of town. It has a beautiful view of the Macao River.
I know, girl.
Really, really nice, especially on the top terrace over on the veranda.
Yeah.
Beautiful view. What sets us apart is the passion. The passion from our cooks, the passion from our chef, the passion from our staff in the dining room, from the bartenders, everybody.
Yeah.
What really makes us special is just, the things that we offer, the meals that we create, the drinks that are made, and that sort of stuff.
And the detail work by the chef. The chef is getting concerned his pots are too hot. But you guys are very well known across Belize, whether people have visited or not. How long have you been open? And talk to us just about creating these unique dishes that people will go all the way to Cayo to try.
Yeah, okay, well, what happened is that we try to, on a daily basis, we create our specials.
Yeah.
And it's basically from what we have and what we can get at the market.
Yeah.
But first of all, what we get from our Maya farm, which is at the lodge, right?
Okay.
So we get a variety of herbs, vegetables.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites is the arugula.
Oh, with that bite.
All right, okay. Yeah. So we basically play with what we get from the farm, from the Maya
So
farm.
you're farm to table.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And then our meats, for example, this year, what we have here is a pork chop.
Pork chop
And I know
lovers
that
right now.
Rich.
They're gonna have to pick up their jaw after this.
Inch and a quarter.
Look at that.
Yeah. So this are our pork chops from a very close farm, from all the way from Bully Tree.
Okay.
And from these guys, we get our pork chops and we get our smoked bacon. That some of that smoked bacon is in our sauce that you all will be sampling today. Yeah.
Cool.
It's just like dropping all these little things, making you even hungrier.
Yeah, and as you all will see today, what we brought here is like a part of Guava Lim's kitchen to open your eyes.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of Guava Lim's kitchen.
Yeah.
All right.
This is basically our special that we are serving today at Guava Lim.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and what we are having is the pork chops. It's going to be seared pork chop with grapefruit sauce, along with some bacon and ginger. And then it's going to be served with a sauteed sweet potato and a chaya medley. I don't know if you guys love chaya.
Chaya, we know.
We've tried it. We've done it.
That's better than spinach, and it's what we eat in Belize, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, so we got to get you starting to cook, but you can talk to us while you go.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been open?
We have been open for 6 years. Guava Lim opened its doors in August of 2013.
Yeah.
And we are currently going on our 7th year this year in August as well.
Okay.
Now you attract a lot of different people. Clearly, being in San Ignacio, you have the tourists who will pass through, but it's also one of the Belizean favorites as well.
Yes, it is. So Guava Lim was actually Guava Lim was actually meant to be for the locals. That's why it was actually created to be a cafe. So it was meant to attract the local market. However, we're very happy with the tourists also coming by as well.
Yeah.
But that's why it was meant to be somewhat of a homey place where you can go with your family and enjoy a nice lunch, enjoy a nice dinner, and still feel at home.
Yeah.
So that is what it was actually meant to be.
I visited Guava Lim for countless times. Whenever I take my family and my wife and my kids, I love it there.
I love that
and we
sprinkle,
love it there. Now, what are you most known for when you guys, when people should go there? What are you most known for? I'm going to Guava Lim for this. You could come with us. Come over here.
We're actually most known for our the specialty dishes that we offer on our menu. For example, the gado gado is one of our specials.
What is the gado gado?
Gado gado is a
that's an Asian dish that is made of rice noodle. Vegetables is like you having a chop suey. It's kind of like a chop suey or chow mein, something like that. And then what makes it different is that there's a lot of ginger, sesame oil, a lot of fresh stuff in there. So when you have that rice noodle, tossed with that sauce, and your chicken satay,
easy.
You cannot go wrong.
Rich. I love it. I love it.
So Edwin, if you're not cooking, you're cooking up ideas, right, as to what you can create next.
Exactly.
Right. So on the pork chops, you put.
I have salt, black pepper.
Yeah.
And
I'm not using consomme this time because I forgot it.
So normally you use consomme?
I don't use consomme.
You don't use consomme. All right, good. Salt, black pepper.
Salt and black pepper.
Meat has its own flavor, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now what you need is that little salt.
Oh my
so here you go.
gosh.
Well, I watch everything that you do because I like cook too.
Oh,
just when you put the meat in the pot, I slide.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you do that? Is that your style?
That's to have everything come together and get to the.
It keeps the seasoning with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you press on them,
you
have the peppercorns, the ground ones, and the salt, get together.
Yeah.
I got you.
So
Thank you very much. When I need a sous chef, I'll come for you.
So once again, you did like a dry rub, and then you put oil on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But if you want,
and you're just going to sear it.
Yeah, we're gonna sear them. Then after that, we're gonna top it with the grapefruit sauce that I got here already.
Okay.
So we'll have them to sear nicely.
All right.
Yeah.
It's only a sear. Cool.
So, here's the thing though, because what I see or what I hear from your dishes as well is that you would take what are traditional favorites, but you infuse a Belizean flavor, grapefruit, or talking about chaya.
Yeah. Here in Belize we have a lot of let's say for example chaya. We have chaya, we have spinach, and I think we have some other herbs that maybe you guys are not familiar with, like the chipiling.
No.
No, we don't know who that chipiling is.
You win. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so when it comes to like cooking and people say, some will say, what, I don't like chaya. And we have this little saying that Belizeans love meat.
Yes.
If there's no meat, it's not good.
That's true.
But let me tell you something. The chaya is something that I have got to put together with many dishes, and it just gets great.
Real nice.
Wow.
And in this chaya medley, I have some sweet corn. I have some cherry tomatoes.
Okay.
Here, I have some cherry tomatoes.
Beautiful.
Here.
Yes.
Those will give it the little sweetness that we're looking for.
Yeah.
That little juice. Here we have some diced onions, and all of that will come together and along with the chaya. Then we're gonna have the sautéed sweet potatoes.
All right.
Along with that.
All right.
And
so
you
we're
will.
turning now.
And
Rich.
you will.
Ooh.
See?
Oh my goodness.
It's getting good now. It's getting.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, you have your own favorite that you love, like your menu item that you made that you just wish people would try. What is it?
The sriracha coconut shrimp.
The what?
Sriracha coconut shrimp.
Sriracha.
See,
And I'm
I never
sure-
thought of that
and
when
I'm
you
sure-
say it, and it sounds like it'll work.
And I'm sure that if you get to try that, you will want to have it every day.
Oh, is it sauteed in the sauce?
It's sauteed with some, again, fresh ginger,
Yeah.
onions and garlic, a lot of cilantro. I know you guys love
Love
cilantro.
cilantro, yes.
Then some coconut milk, chili garlic sauce, and of course you cannot miss the shrimps.
Yeah.
That goes really good with the white rice, right? Coconut white rice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So you get to try that, believe me.
Yeah?
It is delicious.
Oh wow.
You know what? As you talk, I can taste the food already.
It's the passion.
There
That's it, that's it.
It is. All right.
Okay, sriracha coconut shrimp. I'm definitely gonna add that to my list.
All right.
Yeah, you should.
And you also have great desserts and drink menus. I mean, you guys are really creative. Tell us about that.
So our desserts are actually very unique. All our desserts are actually made at the lodge over at Chalk Creek.
Yeah.
and those are made fresh on a daily basis.
Okay.
We have desserts, very special cheesecakes like the Snickers cheesecake, Reese's cheesecake. We have soursop cheesecake. We have the German chocolate cake. We have the organic carrot cake.
Yeah.
So we give our little unique organic twist to all our meals and all our desserts. We have coffee every day, all day.
Yeah.
And we're open from 11 a.m. up until 10 p.m.
Okay.
And we also have our local infused rums that we create as well. So we have things like sorrel infused with gin.
Yeah.
We have things like the other day we made a green apple and cinnamon infused.
What?
Yes, and we made
That was perfect for the weather though. Like cinnamon is just good around Christmas.
Special around
Yeah.
Christmas, and we made an apple pie. It was an apple pie drink that we made for as the special.
Yeah.
So every day we have them using their gray cells,
Yeah.
and they come up with unique meals, unique drinks,
Yeah.
and just everything is unique about us.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
how often do you change your specials? Because what you're making me feel like is like you got to try it as soon as they come out.
Well, actually, every day we have a new
Yeah,
special.
every day,
Yeah.
every day.
Every day we have a new special. Every day we have a special meal and a special
And
drink.
a special drink.
Yes.
And
So
then
if you-
for
So you
special,
get one chance.
You miss it that day,
That's
you
it.
missed it.
but you know at
And it
times,
looks at me, it's like it's your loss,
You
right?
can come in and
no, at
ask
times you
it,
have
right?
customers coming that, you know what, I would love to have the special from last week or maybe from a couple days ago.
And try to
And you
accommodate.
know, just give us a little break and we'll definitely
We'll hook that up.
Oh wow. Okay.
Can I come
Now that's a different story.
All right. So checking up on the chop.
Yeah, so they're getting there.
They're getting
Look
there.
at this color here.
Oh my
Boy,
gosh.
I tell you. Nice. Nice.
We're also becoming very popular for our pizzas.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because we have our wood burning oven.
There it is. So beautiful. Right.
Yeah.
And you have different kinds, and you can also make your own. I was looking
Yes.
at that.
Exactly.
You can make your own. We have different kinds. We also offer the calzone. We also have a pucha panini, which is
Yeah.
actually created at the wood burning oven as
A
well.
what?
A pucha panini.
A
That's a
pucha.
pucha panini. It's made from the pizza dough. It's been baked at the moment. Whenever you order, you bake your panini. Panini is just a word for sandwich
Yeah.
in Italian.
Yeah.
So you get your panini baked and then it's filled with smoked chicken.
Yeah.
Which is that smoked chicken that we smoke, not at Guavalem, but we smoke it at the lodge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it goes really good as well.
Okay.
And you cannot, like, you know, regret that one there.
Oh my god.
You're gonna eat delicious today.
Yeah. You also have salads as well.
Yes, we have salads that like our Maya Farm salad.
Yeah.
Our salads can come as just as the vegetables, or you can add blackened fish, you can add grilled chicken, and you can also add shrimp to your salads if you like.
All right. So you could actually mix up your stuff.
Yes.
And get it right there at Guavalim Cafe.
Now, you said a part of it too is also working on the ambiance, that people felt like they were in a homey environment. What's the reaction when people go?
When people come in, the first thing that they say is, "Oh my goodness, this place is so beautiful. It's so small."
Yeah.
And that is what it's meant to be. It's meant to be nice and small, and meant for you to feel as if though you're at home
Yeah.
with your family,
Yeah.
or even with a loved one. I mean, it's nice and romantic.
Yeah.
We also do events. I mean, if you'd like to do like a birthday event,
Yeah.
we offer the whole cake. We
Okay.
create the whole cake, and we can customize it with happy birthday and the name and so forth. And we also have, if we have romantic events, or if you have like a small elopement or something like that, we can accommodate all of
Right
that.
there.
Yes.
I
Right
know.
there at Guavalim.
Well, Valentine's Day is coming up already, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to the next holiday. That's what we do.
That is the big
You have a
event
big
for us.
special then too, right?
Yes, we do a big special for Valentine's Day, and we're planning on a nice event for it.
Oh, nice.
So we'll have nice decorations up and tablecloths and just a nice special feel.
With great food, great ambience, small setting, is it perhaps advisable that people get reservations when they're going?
We are currently recommending reservations simply because we get pretty packed pretty fast.
Pretty fast, yeah.
And we have a lot of groups, like we have a lot of tour operators that send groups to us and so forth.
Yeah.
So we have about 20 people sitting at once, and
Yeah.
the restaurant is small, so we actually recommend that you get a reservation
in.
so that we can. You can email the reservation via our website.
Yeah.
Or you can also give us a call and we can make a reservation for you.
Can we see your daily special on your social media page?
Oh, yes. Every day we upload our daily
That's
special
where I
on
get
our
to
Facebook
salivate
page.
all the time when I see it on Instagram, and it's like, but it's San Ignacio.
You
What
have
about
to
your
come.
ice? Yeah, your ice cream.
You know,
locally made.
You got that Salt Bay trick down. I gotta say that much. Have you seen how he sprinkles? Right, you gotta watch it.
Sprinkles with style.
Anybody who knows Salt Bay will know. Now you just gotta do the flip over your.
All right.
All right, so that's your sweet potatoes that are
Sweet
cooking.
potatoes, yeah.
Yeah. You see it, right?
Oh, no.
Very special
It's like-
sprinkle.
Yeah, this man's skilled. He's skilled. All right.
All right, so we're getting almost there with the
You just tell me when you're ready,
cooking of
please.
this
and we're
pork
good
chop.
to go.
You're seeing me, right?
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready.
So, Edwin, do you ever peep out to see people's reaction to their food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People ask
You know,
for the
I've,
chef?
I've seen, yeah, a lot. And
That's a
I've
good
seen
sign.
people, calling me to the table and they're actually crying. Wow. Crying. This food is amazing. And,
Wow.
Here's went on. And
Wow.
that was from a foodie.
Yeah.
And
Somebody
it
who
was,
actually travels
it's
and eat
amazing.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So
It
what?
was a special one.
Yeah. So what's your secret though? I mean, is it your passion for cooking? Is it having the creativity, the creative freedom to create what you want? What is it that you think is making these winning dishes?
Okay, so we need.
Well, I would say overall, well, that's me, right? Overall, every day, before I get to work, I pray to my good Lord.
Yeah.
I say, Lord, you're gonna guide me. You're gonna give me, a lot of ideas, creativity, and when I say, bam, I got the plate created. When I get the results, it's like, man,
Wow.
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. So and then apart from that is that we, the key is to feel that passion and love
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you don't have that passion, you will feel bored, But then I think that that's what makes it.
So, at what point did you build that passion for being a chef?
Oh my gosh,
You
that's
know,
my favorite right there.
I started working for small businesses, like small bakery and little cafe, stuff like that. Then eventually I got the opportunity to help in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I start in the kitchen like that, and I start to feel, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually I find myself like making side dishes for the chefs, and assisting a lot in the prepping and stuff like that. Eventually, when I created my first cooking,
Yeah.
man, I just love it. And You
Yeah.
know what? I want to go for it stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And basically, we grew up from we were little kids. We grew up in a farm, and my mom would say, and my dad would say, you know what? Okay, today's your turn to go and cook lunch.
What?
So it's something that
So you already knew how to cook.
Yeah, you grew up
Yeah.
cooking.
Yeah.
yeah.
And you already knew how to make use of fresh farm
Exactly.
materials,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
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 All right. How many pork chops to come this
So tell us
Yeah.
the truth, right? Has he ever come up with a crazy idea where you guys are like,
Like,
nah, we're
this
not
will
gonna
help
try that?
Only when he comes up with seafood ideas, because I do not.
You're not a seafood person.
Not a seafood person.
I don't want
But
Kyle thing.
Really? But I can understand
My wife
because
is not
the
a
sea's
seafood
far
person.
away.
And she's from Cayo. And oh my goodness, you can't give her seafood. They work. But it's always nice. It's always good to step out on a limb and try new things.
All right.
Yeah.
So Edwin, what else? Tell us some more crazy creations that you've come up with.
I think
That coconut
Crazy.
sriracha is pretty interesting.
I cannot recall exactly the date and day, but I've done a chutney barbecue sauce.
Chutney barbecue sauce?
Yeah, mango chutney barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
You know, I had some visitors and they say, you know what, they want to try something with, you know.
Something new?
Yeah, exactly.
And you just came up with it?
Came up with that, and you know, that was really good.
Okay.
I can imagine
It
because
had
that's
the little
sweet and
spice,
spicy.
exactly,
yeah. Which,
basically, that's one of my like my favorite cakes, like
Yeah.
sweet and spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, you use sriracha. Not many people cook with sriracha, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're adding now the cherry tomatoes.
Yeah. You
So
add
we're gonna kind of just squeeze them in, you know.
What?
So when you bite them, they pop in your mouth.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Okay. That's a professional.
So we're
effort.
getting our vegetables, but we're getting an upgrade from just fresh, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Ooh. And we made some sweet potatoes.
Yes. The pork chops are ready, but they're what do you call that? Because you have to.
They're
let them-
resting here.
Yeah.
We're resting them.
I guess they ran.
You know, because
Can you remind people why that's important? Because it's important for the
yeah, for them to rest.
yeah.
Because you know, if I go right ahead and plate it, and you will go right ahead and slice
yeah.
it, you have all those juices just
Pouring
spilling
out.
away. You know.
Yeah.
You want to keep those juices in your meat because you don't want to eat a dry meat, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's how you preserve that moisture.
Yeah, exactly.
And your sweet potatoes, they were just sautéed with
With salt, black pepper, and cilantro. And of
Cilantro.
course, olive oil.
Here
we go. Here's the chaya.
All right.
So when you see
Fresh
people that come to the restaurant, Giuliani, sorry, tell me, do you find that they're coming just for the guava limb experience? Like how often does that happen?
What we actually have is a lot of people that come in and they want to really experience what we're all about.
Yeah.
They want to experience the hominess. They want to experience what everybody else is seeing.
Yeah.
They want to taste the meals because, oh, such and such person told me that.
They want to know if it's real.
Yes.
Yeah.
That the summer rolls are amazing and
Yeah.
they want to try it.
Summer rolls.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
You kept that away from us.
Right?
You kept that away from us.
So they want to try all of this, and we have a lot of people that come in, and that is exactly what they want.
Yeah.
I actually respond to many of the email correspondence when it comes to reservations and so forth. And many emails come in stating, I have heard so many things about your restaurant.
Yeah.
I must try it when
Yeah.
I am in San Ignacio.
Yeah.
So this is why we actually have a lot of people coming in because it's a lot of word of mouth and we're very happy for that.
Yeah.
That is why we actually aim to please the local customers so that then they can actually talk to their friends and their family abroad and so forth.
Yeah.
And they can, you know, just give us that little marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us
Well, word of mouth is the best.
Chops are ready to go on the plate.
Ooh.
Rich.
Your word.
Yes.
Wow. Right.
Now with the chops on the plate, you don't even want the chaya medley.
Well, you still need your veggies. But do you also do vegetarian dishes for
Yeah, we
people?
do.
Because I know they're watching saying, oh, it's a meat place. But you do vegetarian?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
And then if there's something that you know, if you went over our menu and you didn't say anything interesting
Yeah.
about it like that, you give me a little break and I create something for you.
Just like that.
Yeah,
You know what I like
exactly.
about Edwin? Edwin loves a challenge.
Yes, he loves it.
He
Yeah.
does, right?
Yeah.
We'll walk in and say, here, this is my special ingredient for today. Make me something
Yeah.
good.
All right. But it seems he loved the seafood challenge the most.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah, there we go. There's a piece of chaya just hanging out.
Yes, you know.
So talk to
Forget
us
to plate.
about what you did there for people who want to try it at home. So we started off with sauteing onions,
The onions,
and corn.
onions and corn.
Yeah.
Then followed by the cherry tomatoes. And then of course before the chaya,
Yeah.
you gotta you know, be careful.
Yeah.
You don't want to burn your onions.
You don't, okay.
Yeah. Then you go with a little bit of salt. Got herbs
Okay.
are really easy to salty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just a bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. They might look like, you know, in high volume, but they're like this tiny.
They're gonna shrink down
Yeah.
into lots of flavor.
Exactly.
All right.
So this
what
is
do we-
our
what do we
sauce
use in
here.
the pot? Yeah.
This is grapefruit sauce. Basically, it's a grapefruit with crispy bacon, and it's set to reduce along some ginger, onions, and garlic.
Rumor had it that you didn't create that one, you followed a recipe. Is that true?
No.
No.
Edwin said no food for you for saying that, right?
You know, there's something that nowadays is happening a lot. And you know, we have of course we have a lot of websites where you can go and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not like
You're
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Because to me, the moment you start to like go and copying something from the web, it's like you're
You're not being original.
exactly.
Yeah.
And you're just stealing one of your.
All right. That looked nice.
See?
Yes, I know.
Oh my gosh.
Even the way he did the spoon.
I'm telling you.
There you go.
Yeah.
So why grapefruit and pork?
You know, pork it's one of the proteins that goes really good with fruits. You can pair it with pineapple, mango, any fruits you have around. You can just it goes really good. So I will give you extra sauce.
Please.
That's
Thank
So you work with the seasons too. So when mango season come around, you got a whole lot of mango dishes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We deal a lot of with whatever we have available, and we just put in a little bit of a little kick in there
A
with
little twist to it.
yeah, exactly. For example, mango. I have done mango with capers.
Uh-huh.
You know,
With papers?
Capers.
capers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and I have
That's
get great comments from it. Yeah.
What do you do with the mango and capers?
We get the mango, and then we saute the mango again with onions and little garlic. I love garlic and onions.
Yeah.
And then you go with some little white wine. Then, of course, some mango juice, a little bit of water, then set to reduce. Then in the end, you add the capers, lime juice, and you get like
Wow,
that
that's
sweet
a
and that
sweet
little
and tart.
acid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
So-
have to try that one.
Set it up.
There we have it, done by Chef Edwin Alvarado. Of course, we all know guava lim, and I can't believe we have our own guava lim dish in front of us here.
All the way
All the way from
Yeah.
San
This one is
Ignacio.
extremely special. You guys came here
Yeah.
to
Yes.
do it.
Extremely
Excellent.
special.
So once again, your opening hours, your where can we get you? How do we? Yeah, tell us.
So our opening hours, we open at 11 a.m. all the way up until 10 p.m.
Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday.
This is Tuesday to Sunday.
They don't open on Monday.
We are closed on Mondays. We do recommend reservations,
Yes.
especially on the weekend because we become very, very busy.
Yeah.
Super busy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so how far in advance do you have to make a reservation?
You can actually make the reservation the day of.
Yeah.
If we have your time slot already filled, we will definitely recommend a different time for you.
Okay, yeah.
And if you don't want that time, then we try to see how we can squeeze you in.
Yeah.
But we actually, try to accommodate as much as possible.
I'm feeling though that even though that you guys are closed on a Monday, we could still get that guava lim flavor at the Lodge at Chalk Creek.
You can still get the guava lim flavor at the lodge, at the Mariposa restaurant.
Yeah.
But I would recommend that you come over to Guava Lim because
All right.
that's the only
That's
place
what
that you're
Chef
gonna
Edwin
find
does,
the
right?
special one.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so cool.
Yes.
So your creation again, buddy. What's this? Pork chops with?
Seared pork chops with grapefruit sauce, along with sauteed sweet potato and chaya medley.
All right, a la Edwin.
Edwin, you're from San Ignacio? Okay.
All the
Great.
way from the Pine Ridge.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
All right, sir.
From 7 Miles El Progreso.
All right, sir. Whatever you say.
I'm sure they're very proud of you.
Yeah.
And they taught you well how to use the farm food, right?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming in. Of course, our
Gracias.
foodie tour is introducing to our viewers different places they can find, they can visit and try their foods.
Yeah.
While everyone knows about you, it's nothing better than hearing the story itself.
That's true.
Yeah.
So again, thank you guys so very much. But I tell you what, we're about to take that break to dip in. But when we come back, we'll be wrapping things up. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
With over 100 years of service excellence in Belize,
And we're back.
Just like that, we have come to the end of our show for today. We got things started this morning with a wonderful conversation on how to be productive. It is actually a part of our 2020 Vision segment.
That's right. And of course, there are always opportunities for you to be able to pursue some professional development courses, perhaps talk to your management, your HR about getting something together for the company as well. We can all benefit, of course, when we learn how to be better in our jobs. And of course, that's great for the workplace itself. So Charlotte from Belize Institute for Service Excellence, Leadership and Research. Find them online and you can find out more about what they have to offer. And we also want to say thank you, of course, to Daniel Loveless.
Yeah.
That was such an entertaining
He's an
segment.
interesting guy.
Yeah, but you know, a couple things stood out for me. One, he's very young.
Yeah, he is.
And two, that he just has a drive.
Yeah, he does.
So I think it's such an important lesson because a lot of times we see people waiting around for opportunities, but he's not doing that. He's just jumping on and going with it. And sticking to it. And I think that's an amazing lesson for young entrepreneurs to learn, young creative people to learn as well. And look out for him when you see him. I'd imagine Albert Street will be one of the stops.
Be definitely.
So if you do see a guy in multicolored shirts, well matched and approaching you, go for it.
Go for it. Just try it out. It's actually fun learning. So you know, you're going to laugh at it. You're going to laugh at it. He might catch you in a joke, but at the same time, you're going to learn.
Yes.
So we really appreciated him.
The series is called What You Know, and you can find it on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And the Belize episode will probably be out sometime in February.
Definitely.
Right?
And we also want to say a big thank you to the folks here at the Guava Lim Cafe out of San Ignacio. It was an excellent time hanging out with Chef Edwin and Giuliani. Thank you so very much. As we have ourselves in front of us right now, sweet, succulent looking pork chops. Check them out. They're in San Ignacio. Lovely spot, lovely for dining. You have a date? No problem. They'll hook you up.
Yeah, do call for reservations though, because they don't want you to be disappointed when you get there. So you find them online and you call them or send them an email. You can make the reservation the morning of, just to ensure you're going to have a space when you get there. Of course, it's our foodie tour. We're telling you there's so many places you can go to experience great food. A lot of people know about Guava Lim, but I think what is interesting to find out in having them here is when you can hear the passion behind what they do. And that counts so much for the success that they have and why their dishes are so delicious.
That's right.
So great, big thank you to the restaurant for coming out and sharing this recipe. Some of these things you can try at home. Some of the special sauces, you got to go to Guava Lim to go see what Chef Edwin cooked up, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, with passions, it brings success, all right? We know that you might have a question or two. You can always drop us a line at oye@channel5belize.com.
You can also drop me a line at marlene_oye@channel5belize.com. Find us on Facebook. Of course, we stream our shows live there. You can get some of the information from our guests as well. And so you just look up Open Your Eyes BZ and you'll be able to get in touch with us there. Now, if you want the behind the scenes stuff, you definitely need to find us on Instagram. That's OYE Belize. And find us, follow us, and stay in touch.
Definitely. And so, up until we see you tomorrow, keep your...
At 6:30.
Yeah.
When you open your eyes.
To start your morning right. As per usual, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your heart open. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, Belize.
Ooh, I love it.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.